Hey, what's up, fam? Isn't this day bussin'? Do you guys remember the Miles Morales Thor comic shit show where they were doing those Marvel like what if alternate universe things? And it was like, what if Miles Morales was Thor? So he made the hood in New York, Asgard, and he had fresh kicks on as a god of thunder. And this is more racist than any clan lynching that has ever been conducted in the United States. By Odin's Fade. I remember this. I'll never forget this. See, he's a god and he's got his sneakers. He's got oh yeah, and they all did it in rhyme too. He's got style and he's got flair to boot. With his kicks, you know he's in hot pursuit. Wow, that doesn't even have the same number of syllables, I don't think. Jesus Christ. All his dreams rain from the clouds above. He brings the thunder. Best believe it, bruv. Where's the Odin's Fade thing? I'm sorry, it's really bad, guys. It's like the DK rap, except the charm has been replaced with racism. Well, to be fair, to the writer who made this, this probably felt like the DK rap to him, too. Oh, yeah, wait, sorry, one last thing. I also really, really like how, even though this is supposed to be Asgard, there's, like, graffiti and shit and, like, shoes hang on the wires, even though depending on where you are, that means, like, drug dealer or a kid died here or something. As, like, the seat, like, the throne of the universe or some shit, but it's like, oh, well, black people control it. So, you know, there would be, like, ghetto shit. What would a black do if they had the ancient god-fearing weapon, Mjolnir? I know. They would put generic graffiti on it. That looks like shit. Because, like, black people just do graffiti, right? Like, that, like, it doesn't have to look good. It's like graffiti. It's like trash. They just leave trash everywhere, right? Incredible. Oh, that's super racist. No, it's actually really racist. Yeah, completely and massively so. It's pretty funny though. This is I think this is one of the reasons why in spite of the fact that some people might call it stereotypical, nobody gave a shit that in the Into the Spider-Verse movie, Miles Morales like is into like tagging and graffiti and shit because they showed respect to the art by having him be good at it and not just be like, oh, it's Black Spider-Man, so he's like a hood rat and he tags shit or whatever. Like it's clearly like an artistic interest in the art form, which, you know, cool. I wish more graffiti looked like this. Oh, here we go. There's the By Odin's Fade. By Odin's Fade, I command you. See, he's got a hoodie because he's black. See, so his like Thor outfit has a hood because it's a hoodie because black people. And look, he's got tats. And there's his fade. Odin doesn't even have a fade in this comic. He's got an afro. Wait, seriously? Does he not even have a fade in this? So he literally is just saying it? No, he's bald? What? Nice fade, bro. By Odin's afro would be a million times worth. Honestly, by Odin's fro, I genuinely don't think... Like, that feels like it's on pace with this comic. So funny. Is it now leftist to ban white people from making art? I think it should be. Huh? Nice try, buddy. That comic, that wonderful Miles Morales comic we just looked at, was made by a Mexican man. There's a lot of white supremacy in Latin America, folks. Arguably more than America in some ways. Not in all ways. But the politics of, like, racial supremacy in some parts of Latin America are so overt that it's actually kind of insane. It reminds me of, like, Bolivia with Evo Morales, where, like, the minority of white people and, Spaniard descendants took control of the government and with, like, the business people backing them. And their first thing was, like, swearing in on the Bible and not, like, the satanic indigenous stuff or whatever. Like, it's so overt. It would be like if white people were in the White House, perish the thought, and they were like, we're taking this country back from the black, and then they burn, like, I don't know, a DVD copy of Into the Wakandaverse or whatever those stupid movies. Black Panther. It's, I don't know. Oh, like the thing we did to the natives? Well, we handled the natives differently. What we did over here in America is that we killed them And then we stole their land, pushed them back further west, killed more of them, pushed them back, made a deal, broke the deal, killed them, took more land, pushed them back west, and now they have reservations. There's like a 1,000th of them that there used to be, okay? What they did in Latin America was they killed them, raped a lot of them, enslaved a lot of them, but never managed to kill enough of them to just turn all of Latin America into a Spanish/Portuguese continent. So there are numerically more native people and native descendant people in most of Latin America than there are like direct descendants of the Portuguese or the Spaniards or whatever. And the politics are ongoing. A lot of the democratic leftist movements that the CIA squashed in Latin America through the Cold War were also native indigenous nationalist movements, where they're like, through socialism, we will give strength to the indigenous people here in Latin America who have lived in squalor and oppression for so long. And then we killed them. What are you going to do? Now, they killed a lot of natives. I'm not saying they didn't kill a lot of natives. They didn't kill as many of them proportionally as we did here in here in America. Obviously, there are way more indigenous descended people in Central and South America than there are in here in North America. South and Central America just had more population. The Spaniards didn't feel for. Whoa, okay, please. I am not implying that the Spanish went easy on the Native Americans and please, God, do not take that from what I said. Oh my God, I am not making that point. Holy shit, the slave system in Latin America, country depending, was worse than what we had over here. By like a long shot. I thought they had families with the natives there. Like I said, a lot of rape. Yeah, because they pretty much only ran plantations for slave labor. They didn't really settle. Yeah, there was never the same... I wonder how much of this was because of the American Revolution, right? Because as soon as America was no longer a colony, but rather an independent country, we had the whole, like, westward expansion, thing going on. What is it called? The thing for westward expansion? What's that term? Manifest destiny. Thank you. Whereas in Latin America, those countries were kept as... When did being a colony... Colonial Brazil comprises the period from 1500 until 1850, where they were elevated to a kingdom in union with Portugal as the United Kingdom of Portugal. So still kind of a colony, right? Kind of like United Kingdom of Portugal, Brazil, and the Algarves, the Algarves. Kind of. It's complicated. It's so complicated. More like a viceroyalty. Yeah, but definitely not independent. Don't look up what year Brazil banned slavery. Oh, no. 1888. Honestly, that's not, like, that much later than us. I don't think we have a right to patronize them over that. Like, America is so... Yeah, I feel like it'd be hypocritical of me. The last nation in the Western Hemisphere to formally abolish slavery. 120 years later, it is estimated that 25,000 to 40,000 workers are still victims of conditions analogous to slavery in this South American country. Oh, okay, apparently there's still a couple 10,000 slaves in Brazil, basically. Big country. Confederates who fled to Brazil, literally like Nazis decades later. Hold on. Ah, yes, the Confederate States of America, or the Estados Confederados de America. Yes, classic stuff. It's basically just the American version of, like, Nazis fleeing to Argentina after the war, right? Where, like, you can't do slavery in America, so let's head down south where we can keep doing slavery. It's kind of like how Rhodesia, now known as Zimbabwe, was considered for a couple of decades to be like a white paradise because there were like British colonizers over there who just like ruthlessly oppressed the black population. Yeah, South Africa too, right? Like, yeah, South Africa and Zimbabwe were both like, oh yeah, white paradise, come on over here, the most racist men alive, go down. It's like, oh, well, why would they want to be in Africa? Well, what do racist white people like more than not being around black people? Being around black people and treating them poorly. So come on down to Rhodesia. Would Africa be better for DJ1? And KCJ from LI. That's another weak ban. They just can't help themselves. I'm going to get an email in like 2 seconds saying, I'm so sorry. That was meant to be a joke. This is like the 18th time this has happened. Weird lad. Yeah, but ultimately harmless.